Bamboo skewers can be used for more than just summer barbecues, and the dollar store has both small and large sizes. Pick up one of these July 4th red, white, and blue bead garlands. The first step is to cut the bead garland string and pull all of the beads apart. Take a large bamboo skewer and add a drop of hot glue to the pointed end of the skewer. Slide one of the beads onto the end and hold for a couple of seconds while the glue dries. Cover the ends of multiple bamboo skewers with the different colored beads. Now, hunt your home for scrap fabrics in red, white, and blue colors. Any pattern will do. Rather than messing with a measuring tape, use a plain piece of paper, I used 8.5 by 11, to roughly measure a block on a piece of red fabric. Snip alongside the paper pattern with some scissors, and then rip the fabric rather than cutting. Do this along all sides of the paper pattern to tear a rectangular fabric shape. You will also need smaller rectangular pieces of fabric, preferably in a blue and white combination. I used a small notepad for my pattern. Just snip and tear the fabric into smaller rectangular shapes. If using an old shirt, place your pattern over the larger uninterrupted areas of the shirt and then tear. But you can also try including the buttons and placket from the front of the shirt as part of the square that you cut. Using your hot glue gun, run a line of glue along the right-sided short edge of the fabric. Place the beaded skewer rod right on top of the glue line, pressing it down so it sticks well to the fabric. Once the rod is in place, run another line of hot glue along the top of the rod. Carefully roll the rod along the glued edge, wrapping the fabric around the skewer to make a neat, secure finish. Now flip the flag over so you can see the front side. Take the smaller piece of blue fabric and place it on the top left corner of the flag. Add a bit of glue underneath the fabric to hold it in place. If you are incorporating a shirt pocket in your design, why not add an additional pattern with a small piece of fabric tucked into the pocket as a pocket square? Have fun mixing patterns. You can go classic or full-on quirky. Don't forget the smaller bamboo skewer rods. You can take the tiniest fabric scraps and create any number of charming pattern combinations for your flags. Smaller flags are fantastic for small centerpieces. Tuck them into one vase or give them their own space in a test tube vase display. Larger flags are perfect for tucking into larger outdoor pots and planters, and you can go all out by mixing the larger and smaller flags together. I hope this inspired you to create charming and inexpensive flags for the 4th of July using bamboo skewers and fabric scraps.
I'm going to start out by giving the shutter a coat of white chalk paint. Chalk paint is super easy to use, so forgiving, has really nice coverage. The white paint is dry, and now I'm just measuring and marking the corner of my shutter off. Just doing a light pencil line as a guide because I never ever paint straight lines. All right, now I'm gonna have my blue paint, and I'm using a nice beautiful nautical blue paint, and I am just gonna paint this corner of the shutter. And because I'm an impatient crafter and I don't want to literally watch paint dry, I'm just gonna use my mini heat gun to dry that blue paint quickly. Now my blue paint's dry. I'm just gonna dry brush a little tiny bit of white to give it a little bit of a distress feeling. Now dry brushing is when you tap your brush in whatever color paint you want to use. In this case, the white paint that I painted the rest of the shutter with. And then you almost tap all the paint off of your brush before you put it on whatever project you're doing. You go in for just like a little light look. The paint is dry and we're going to move on. I'm using my yardstick and I'm going to make light lines down the length of the shutter, about 1 inch apart, to make some stripes. I'm notorious for making crooked lines, therefore I need to make marks. Okay, now that I have my little pencil lines as guides, I am going to start painting. I have some barn red paint, and I'm going to fill in every other stripe. Okay, I did 2 coats of the red and let it dry. And now I'm going to go over with a little bit of the white color, and I'm going to dry brush over the stripes. All right, now to finish up my flag shutter, I'm going to add a little bit of a coastal touch, and for the stars on the flag, I am going to use some starfish. So I'm just going to hot glue those on. This will look so cute outside for Memorial Day and the 4th of July. All right, so everything is dry on the flag. The starfish looks super cute as the stars. I thought of one little detail I want to add because I can't leave well enough alone. I'm taking some just Dollar Tree nautical rope, and what I am going to do is I just want 1 ply of it, so I'm just untwisting it so I can just get a thinner piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little border around the flag area. So I'm going to do a drop of hot glue right in the corner. Now I'm going to pop one end in there, and then I'm going to bring it straight up. I might actually put a little dot here. This is a longer piece. That little rope is really cute.
Head to your backyard for all the supplies you're going to need for this fun patriotic project. To create the backdrop of my flag, I've got a couple of scrap pieces of wood here that I had already put together with some screws at the back. And I'm just going to go ahead and use this piece because it's the perfect size. So you want a piece that's about 1.5 feet by about 10 inches or so across. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this, and I'm going to use some milk paint, and I'm going to use navy blue for my backdrop. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a coat of paint in navy blue to get it ready. With all the sticks cut, I'm going to go ahead and start laying them down across the board. And I've already started a couple of rows here, and it's just like a giant puzzle. You just need to fit them all in, and you can keep turning them around or however you need to get them all on the board. You want to cover it up so that it's nice and full. Once I have my board covered the way I'd like it, I'm going to go ahead and take some wood glue, and I'm just going to lift up each piece and paint the back with some wood glue and stick it right back onto the board. I'm going to do this one piece at a time. And that wood glue will dry clear, so I don't have to worry about that. And I can keep filling my board in with those sticks and the glue. Now that all the sticks are stuck in place, we want to go ahead and add some little wooden stars to finish off our flag. So I've got just these little stars here, and I'm going to put them up, starting up here in the corner. If you need to, you can always fill in your gaps with littler sticks if you find that your gaps are too big, but otherwise you can just go ahead and start sticking these on. So I've gone ahead and counted out 50 stars, and I'm just going to use a dab of hot glue on the back to hold these in place. Just a little dab of hot glue, and I'm going to start right up here. And the last thing I have to do once I have all my stars on is just remove all these little glue strings, and I'll show you how it looks in just a second. How cool is this rustic flag? It was so easy to put together. Just grab some sticks from your backyard, and it's perfect to leave up all year round. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Home Talk. I'm Lisa from Recreated Designs. I'll see you next time.